Hello, it's Jason again with Overland America, and today we continue our adventures with Page's Forest in upstate New York near the Catskills. As you can see, we had a bunch of friends that stopped by. It wasn't too far from, where they live. It was about an hour and a half drive. So they came up and we spent the afternoon by the fire, talking and having a good time. If you want to see how we got there and you want to see what leads up to this, also we're going to give you a tour of the campsite, so you don't want to miss this. Stay tuned. So this is our tent and our campsite here. We had some pretty new additions to the outfit here. This is a ARB awning, but then I went ahead and purchased the enclosure for the awning, which was really nice because last year on a couple of campsites we kind of got eaten up by the mosquitoes. So this was more of a mosquito thing, but it does have walls. It can be used as a secondary tent if we had company or somebody that came with us that wanted to, stay with us but didn't have a tent. We have the tent part of it closed now because when we were here, it was a little on the chilly side. And we actually, if you look at our previous videos where we were eating inside there, we actually had the Mr. Buddy propane heater going in there, which it warmed up quite nicely and we were comfortable. But on the hot days and later on this summer when we start going to other places, we'll be able to roll up those walls and it's all net, which will definitely be a plus, keeping the mosquitoes out and keeping me and Sudan from scratching so much. But that's coming up in a future story. This is, how it is now. So what I usually do is when I get to the spot, I'll disconnect the trailer and level it. Then to turn it into a kind of a base station because you pop up the tent. We have the tent there. It also has an awning there. This is a World War II Jeep trailer, which I restored, and it's designed to be pulled by a Jeep. It still has the plaque on it that shows that it was used to belong to the United States Marine Corps back in World War II. But when I got it, wasn't in great shape. We did a little work to it, had to redo some axles, painted it, did all the wiring for the lights, had to add lights because it had those old military lights on it that I don't know if you remember, but they're like very, very narrow, so like you don't draw too much attention to you in a battle zone. But that's great in a battle zone, but not too great on the freeway, so I had to rewire the whole thing and add a bunch of lights to it and things like that to make it legal, which we did, and it came out great. And then, we've been using it. We used it all last year, used it this year. And I don't think we could ever imagine going back without actually having the trailer because the trailer's just, it gives us more room. Leo sleeps in the trailer at night. It just makes everything life so much easier. I can drop the trailer, level it out, and have a base station and still take the Jeep and go off-roading or go exploring if we want to, which is a definite plus. There's Leo. Say hi to Leo. Leo is watching us set the camp up and trying to stay out of our way. We always keep him chained up when we first get to a place before we get to feel the land, see what kind of animals there. This is the solar panel that keeps my internal batteries on the Jeep charged up, so I can run the refrigerator and all the lighting and stuff that we run at night. These solar panels, it's pretty good. On a sunny day, I'm getting 13.5 watts down into my my battery system, which is more than enough to charge the battery and keep everything running. We were there at this place for 3 days. I didn't start up the Jeep once the whole time we were there, and when we got ready to leave, it just cranked right up and went. We did get a dual battery system that I have recently purchased. I have not had a chance to install it into the system yet. I plan to do that before our next camping trip. So we'll be doing that, and I'm going to try to make a video of it so that you guys can follow along and see what we did. That'll be interesting, and that'll be coming up on a future video. If you look at here, you'll see that the tent is very well made. This is a Smitty built tent. It just flops right open. We most of the time store our sleeping bags and everything just already made up in there. So all we have to do is just pop it open, and we're good to go. It's easy to open, easy to close. And when we went to this tent versus the ground tent, it was night and day. I'm talking about, this is like being in the penthouse suite. I mean, it's comfortable. The ground is soft. It has bedding in there and everything. It's comfortable and soft. It's way more enjoyable than the ground tent. I don't think after sleeping in this tent, I don't think we could ever go back to a ground tent again. It's just not something that we want to do. But it's very enjoyable. And I highly recommend if you do a lot of camping and stuff, to go and look at these rooftop tents. This tent I bought used, but I have been looking into getting a newer one, and I've been looking at getting one of the hard shell ones, which would kind of be nice. They're a little bit on the spendy side, but if you're something you really enjoy, then it's definitely worth investing the money into getting quality stuff to make it comfortable, make it enjoyable, being in nature, exploring, and doing what you like to do. What kind of rig do you guys use when you're overlanding? I'd love to hear about them, and love to hear about your setups. Please leave us a comment below and let us know if you're a Jeep person or if you're a Land Cruiser person. Do you have a rooftop tent? Do you use ground tents? Anything you can say is helpful. I really enjoy hearing about other people's setups, and it gives me ideas for my own setup. And I'm hoping that you watching this and the future videos that are coming up on my rig and my setup will give you ideas on ways to improve yours. This right here is a water dispenser. I made it. I made it off of I watched an Overland Bound video, which I am a member of, and he had made one similar to this, and he had left the part list in his comment area. I bought the stuff and I made it myself, and it was just wonderful. My wife really loved it. It was really nice to wash the dishes, to get the water. You didn't have to lift up the big heavy 5-gallon container of water and dump it. You just turn it on, and I just had it where I could just plug it into the back of my Jeep, and it would just run the water just like a thing. I have 2 or 3 of these water jugs, so when it got empty, all I have to do is unscrew the reservoir, pull the pump out, stick it in a new jug, tighten it up, and we're ready to rock. This is our 12-volt refrigerator that we totally invested in because at first we were using ice chests, which was such a pain. Every day you had to go find some ice, and this thing here is just beautiful. It's not messy. It doesn't get water everywhere. The food's not floating. It's very energy efficient. You'd be very surprised. It pulls 12 volts. Like I said, my solar panel totally keeps up with this. As long as you don't keep the door open for long periods of time, it doesn't run, forever. It gets up to the temperature, it cools, and it maintains the temperature, for a good long time. And it has emergency settings on it. You can actually set it so that when your battery gets down to a certain voltage, it will shut off. So that not to drain your battery all the way where you can't start the car. So you could set it to go, shut off at 11 volts or 10 volts or 9 volts or whatever you want to shut it off, and it would monitor that on your car battery and shut itself off when it gets to that point to make it where you could still start the car, which is a big plus. This here is the rooftop tent. This is the inside. I wanted to just give you guys a quick peek up here how we have it set up. It has a really nice mattress in there, and we did, like I said, we have our sleeping bag down, and then we have a mink blanket on top and our pillows, and it was in the 30s at night here, and when we were in here we were pretty much warm, toasty, and comfortable. What we would do is bring our little Mr. Buddy heater up there just to warm the tent up before we went up there in the evening. Turned it off because I'm still not good on leaving that thing running all night, and we were fine until the next morning. Once we got it warmed up in there and we were up there, our body heat and everything pretty much kept it at a comfortable temperature, even though it was in the 30s outside, and had a little frost when we woke up. But as you can see, this tent is very, very luxurious. We've got plenty of windows and the top, and this is what was right outside the tent. I mean, this is what we listened to all night. It was the best night's sleep that I had had in a long time, and it was well worth it. As you can see, Sudan's up in the tent. She's making up the bed and opening the windows so we can get some fresh air. As you can know, that we are now coming to the end of this video, and everything at this place is wonderful. This is the third installment on a 4-part series. There's one more, which will be the breakdown of the camp and how everything goes away. We hope you enjoyed this video as much as we enjoyed making it. And we just want to let you know that I'll get out there and adventure and explore and do what makes you happy. And as always, we'll catch you on the next trip.